It's consumption that is so far from normal, it makes you go, who needs this? Does anybody need this? Why does this exist? Why are we doing it? Nobody ever in the history of the universe needs a wall full of 60 razors. Nobody. I challenge you, give me a reason. I want to hear it. What do you even say about that? Hey y'all, I'm Shauna. Welcome in or welcome back to the channel. Today I have a video that's long overdue. Today we're doing a dive into a specific TikTok account, and I've done a few of these in the past. I've done one on an Amazon TikTok creator. I've done another one on a shopping recovery account. I've also done one on a bathroom, like a bathroom product creator. I want to say self-care, but really about the consumption of bath products. Today, we're doing another one. And today I'm going to be talking about the hayeks. And they are a TikTok account with 1 million followers. This is the TikTok account that I receive the most requests to cover, but also on Instagram when y'all send me TikToks. Over the last 2 months, it's been almost exclusively TikToks from the hayeks. I've really been wanting to talk about the concept of waste baiting, and I think that merges really well with this account because that's a lot of what they do. So we're going to be talking about the hayeks through the lens of waste baiting today. So I'm going to explain a little bit about what waste baiting is. We'll talk about some of the bread and butter of this account. We'll also talk about 3 main content areas in which this applies, and we'll look at a bunch of their videos. So that's the roadmap for today. If you're new here, or if you're not, I would love it if you would subscribe to catch more content like this. If you like what we do here, if you like talking about conscious consumption, mindfully shopping, and just kind of having a place on YouTube to counter all of that buy messaging, this is the place for you. If you're a returning viewer, 70% of you watching, you're not subscribed. Subscribe. It's free. Love to have you here. They also have an Instagram account that they post content to that is slightly smaller. It has around 750,000 followers. We're going to be focusing on TikTok today because the content that they post is similar and it's just easier to navigate with TikTok. Before we get into the content, I would like to remind you not to engage with this creator. If you find the content that they make disturbing, problematic, you don't like it, you hate it even, this is not a call to go comment on them or to go send negativity or hate comments to them. We're not about that on this channel. We don't do it. No, ma'am. But also, if you really don't like this content, engaging with it, even in a negative manner, does help them get more reach. So if you want to have their content see less eyes, just, step back. And I feel like that's probably the best course of action. We can't dislike how somebody does something. We can't dislike content without being rude or mean or hateful about it. If you've never heard of the hayeks before, let me introduce you to their content. I've featured 2 of their videos on my channel in the past 6 months. I posted one in a restock video. It was featuring a bathroom that they were restocking. And then I also featured another one. I think it was in my last Amazon video, if not 2 videos back. I think I was wearing the same orange shirt in that video. It was their puppy bath time video. Their puppy bath time video is their most popular video on their TikTok. It has 137.5 million views. That's a ton. We're going to talk more about that series later, or the whole puppy situation. We're going to be talking about that later. Now, there's a particular video that I want to show now to introduce each of their content that has less views than the puppy video. It has 66 million views, but I've heard way more about this video than the puppy video. Let's just play it. the red mouth. This is a matchy bath that she put together, this whole bath theme, to sell you almost all the products in this video, from the bath bomb to the hair massage oil thing to the pajamas, the slippers. Like almost everything in this video is sellable. She created a bit of a like divisive or controversial theme to do it, to get eyes on her page, and it worked. The video that finally got me to say, you know what, it's time to cover them is this video. I've seen this video 6 times already, at least, and my jaw is still on the floor. What do you even say about that? This video is the perfect segue into waist baiting. Waist baiting is a term that I created, or I feel like I've never heard it before. If you've heard anything like it, let me know. I created this term to really apply to a specific type of rage baiting tactic. It's when somebody shows wastefulness, excess, or overconsumption in a way that induces rage or frustration on the viewer. Waist baiting, like rage baiting, is usually done with intention. I think waist baiting is a type of rage bait. Like, it's still intended to induce the rage, just via wastefulness and overconsumption. It's consumption that is so far from normal, it makes you go, who needs this? Does anybody need this? Why does this exist? Why are we doing it? Like, all of those kinds of things. And just as a bit of a reminder, to be wasteful means using or expending something of value carelessly, extravagantly, or to no purpose. When we do that thing for views or to try and get people to feel certain ways. Nobody ever in the history of the universe needs a wall full of 60 razors. Nobody. I challenge you, give me a reason. I want to hear it. We're going to talk about this razor video now because it is such just a perfect example of waist baiting. She knows it's not normal, that this is excessive, that this is unnecessary, like it serves no purpose. It's the extreme overconsumption that's going to make people look. And not just look, but leave comments saying why. Or just being frustrated, or, rage induced. There are 60 razors total on this wall. And if each razor cost $10, which I think is possible, right? That's $600 for a razor wall. All of these razors she dumps out of a Target bag, which to me kind of looks like she went to the store to purchase. And she bought them specifically to make content with. That's the only reason the razor wall exists, is for the content. I do not believe she kept these razors up because they are dangerous to have around, especially if you have children using this. And they're impractical. They get in the way. Like, also they're going to get rust on them. Like, no way she leaves this up. There is a chance that she got all of these razors in PR, but if that's the case, they are brand new in the box. There are other things we could have done with them besides open them all up so nobody besides you could ever use them. She could have done so much with this. If she purchased them, I mean, she could have chosen not to purchase them. And in either of the cases, like whether it's the purchase or the PR, we could have given them to friends and family. We could have given them to people during like maybe holiday times or like a stocking or something. That's one option. Option two, we could have included it in giveaways if you do them for subscribers. We could keep them in the bathroom for guests when they come over. You know, typically not for the bathroom restock, but if you have this much that's given to you for free in PR and you want ways to deal with it, that's an option. Number four, we could have donated them to Project Beauty Share, to women's shelters, to homeless shelters. Like, I've just given you 4 alternatives for use, like for this stuff that isn't make a freaking TikTok video with the razor wall. This is also extra wasteful because she has overconsumed a product category that you're only really meant to own one of. Like that, this is meant to be reusable. You're meant to buy one razor handle and then you buy the blades. It's not the most sustainable thing out there or the most sustainable shaving option, but it still has some sustainability built in. You know, like you buy the handle once so you don't have to keep rebuying it. It's similar to buying multiple Stanley cups. Like, it's a reusable water bottle, it's a reusable razor, we get it. She began posting content in early 2023, and it was over the course of 2023 that her content began to change because her content wasn't always like this. The early content that she posted last year, can't believe it was just a year ago, didn't look like this. It looked like traditional to us now perhaps, more classic Amazon style videos. Let me show you an example. I think this is a very aesthetic video. It looks nice. She's still selling her Amazon products. Don't love that. But we're not trying to bait people with razor walls. That had a few hundred views. Another example is this kitchen video. It got 4,000 views. We're still trying to sell people stuff. We're just not doing it at the extreme levels that her channel eventually became. The first video she made to break 100,000 views is this bath time video I'm about to show you. And it did really well. It didn't just go to 100,000 views. It got to 746,000 views. This represented a changing moment, I think, for the channel because she started to make more bath content. Like she started to really lean into that. And then a lot of the wastefulness that started coming from the channel started coming from these bath videos, which we still see her make today. They've just gotten more excessive. So let's watch this. So is this excessive? Yes, and I could see myself including a video like this in my Amazon series where, you know, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of toys, there's the bath bombs, there's multiple of the same thing, like multiple like bubble producing things. There's a lot of stuff in here. This feels like a small step up from the previous 2 videos we saw in that we're selling people a lot of things in a very themed way. To me, it kind of feels like she took perhaps some of the lessons from the pink utensil video and is like, okay, we're going to do a themed bath. If my bath video does well, then I can continue to make bath videos, but just change up the theme. And I already know people like this. With the pink utensil video, kind of to me seems like it's a one and done kind of thing. Like, how many utensil videos can you make? Whereas this is one that you could continuously make videos on, just with different themes. So you start to see the transition to a lot of bath time videos. That was one of the more expensive or themed baths that she did in 2023. And less than a year later, here is what the baths became. This is one of the wildest baths I've ever seen. We're going to leave the cotton there for a second, but we escalated to stickers to blow up, I was going to say dolphins, blow up penguins. Then we put in a whole bunch of pre-shredded cotton. No way a child gets in that bath. That seems like a sensory nightmare, and like there's no actual room for the child. It's so over the top, wasteful, and impractical for bathing that people are like, what are we doing? I'm like, what are we doing? Oh yeah, and milk. I had to move just a little bit. I'm getting too much sun. We're gonna watch one more bath video.
Let's make a themed bath on a budget with me.
We put I think that's a gallon. Those are gallon jugs. 2 gallons of milk in a bath, plus all the pool noodles. To me, that's not a budget. Like, I think we have the whole like excess of it all, and the milk specifically, I think triggers a lot of people. And also her saying it's a budget when it's, in my opinion, not a budget. So right now it's saying at Walmart, a gallon of milk is $4.02. So $8 on approximately on 2 gallon jugs. You could buy yourself a bath toy, probably for around $10, that you could reuse time and time again, instead of the 2 gallons of milk that you could only use once. And I feel like if a family was really on a budget, they would buy the milk for drinking. Plus you have like the pool noodles, which you could reuse. But I feel like the theme might run out a little bit because that's so highly themed opposed to the reusable bath toys. I don't know. That could just be me. I do want to give her props for creativity though, because it is pretty cool. We can see a strong transition between the original bath and these highly themed baths. They've just gotten more niche and more themed, which in my opinion adds to the excess, because a lot of what is being purchased for here, or at least some of it, cannot be reused. Like the cotton cannot be reused and the milk cannot be reused. And when we have a really niche theme, what happens when the interest in that theme, like penguins, goes away? Children have all kinds of interests that are changing all the time. Buying some more general bath toys that can be reused for years extends the life of goods or the item. This highly themed component really became a hallmark of her channel. The period bath, which I mentioned earlier, another example, she also began doing restocks of her children's bathrooms, which were also highly themed, changing out shower curtains and bath mats, which she also did in her dog bathing videos. We don't need new bath mats and new shower curtains to bathe a dog. And this highly themed component just became a hallmark of a lot of her restocks, just signaling so much excess and overconsumption, because you don't need new shower curtains every time you make a new video. She does, or anytime you want to restock your bathroom. The average person doesn't do that. She does it to sell you stuff and to sell you highly themed products, which are mostly meant for children. When you're selling highly themed products to children, or parents with children, I should say, because children's interests change all the time, if we pitch these really niche things, then there's a greater likelihood that she can get parents to buy multiple themes over the course of a year or 2 years. She'll also change out the skincare, the bath caddies that go actually in the bath, or that you put your stuff on that lies on your bath. There'll be a new one in every video or every other video, so she can sell you another bath caddy. We also can't forget the changing out of the toilet paper and the towels. This is not the same as having a few sets of pajamas or a few sets of towels that you change out regularly. Or let's say you do own a pink towel, you have maybe pink pajamas and you decide to match that. That's one thing. And that's not what's happening here. We are loading up on all of these accoutrements to the bath, where a lot of the products being sold to you have nothing to do with the bath, like the water being inside the bath, but all of the things that she can sell you to attach to the bath, like a s'mores maker. The creator also lies or bends the truth for content. Sticking with the bathroom theme, in this video, which is one that I showed a few months back, she said that she's restocking her teenage daughter's bathroom. The message in the caption was that every child deserves their own bathroom. A few weeks prior, she did a restocking of her son's bathroom, and she reused the same bathroom for both children. And she is redressing the same bathroom over and over again. I've looked through her socials and it does appear as though she only has one child who is also not a teenager. She does not appear to have a daughter, nor is her son a teenager. So none of this is true. The caption bothered me because if you have only one child, it's much easier for that child to have their own bathroom. Of course, not all families that have one child can afford that, but it's much easier to do that than to give each child of, let's say, a family of 5 or even a family of 3 their own bathroom. And regardless of how many kids you have, a child's deserving status has nothing to do with the amount of rooms that they have. And you are not inherently less special or deserving because your parents couldn't afford to give you your own bathroom. We're equating stuff with love here. You having your own bathroom or not isn't indicative of your worth, is what I'm trying to say. Another example is when she said she was restocking her kid's fridge as well as her husband's fridge. It's the same fridge in her kitchen, which we can see because in the kids restocking video, you can see the Smeg appliances on the kitchen and then the granite countertops. And you can see those Smeg appliances in the husband restocking video. She implies that her child has their own fridge and then, puts 20 sticks of butter in it, which wastefulness as well. And then her husband's fridge has all beer and then some chips that she throws in the random compartment and then throws drinks on top of them, again for rage bait. and also just wastefulness. And this isn't always about selling her audience stuff, because majority of the stuff she puts in the fridge is not actually sellable. A lot of this is just getting eyes to the page, and also I think just coming to associate wasteful content with this creator, or this specific kind of content with this creator. She finds different ways to infuse wastefulness into her life. And people came into her comments saying like, oh, your kids have their own fridge? Like, that's kind of crazy. And people commenting about, why do her kids need so much butter? And I think that, like, to me, it was obvious that this was some kind of like satire, joke, or rage bait, but this was not immediately obvious to everybody. And I think that there's a fine line between like lying and bending the truth and not. One of the creators I've talked about before, or who I made a video on before, she was Juliana Amazon Finds, and she does these POV style videos like POV brunch. And she'll create a scenario which you can conceivably use the products, and uses that scenario to sell you stuff. And part of that I understand, because you're helping people envision how they could use the products in their own life. That feels a little bit different to me than saying that you have multiple kids, or that saying that you have a teenage daughter or a teenage son. That feels a little bit different. And I think what the hayeks do verges on deception to try and sell you things, which also can contribute to the rage bait. We're now going to conclude on the dog content. And she bought a dog earlier this year. Her family bought a dog earlier this year. And the dog has been in every kind of piece of content imaginable. And it really feels like she bought a dog to be an actor or a performer in her video, and like an entity that she can have control over, that she can put in videos in ways that she wants. And like, she just got the dog for the videos. And also, she's now able to sell you a lot of stuff she wasn't able to before, because she now has a dog. She can sell you pet products now. The bath videos for her dog are kind of crazy, because we have so many bath videos, and in each bath video it's like a brand new set of products, which is exactly what happens in her bathroom videos. It seems like many of her bath videos have entirely new sets of products, including shower curtains and bath mats, and just like toys for the bath. Or if it's for like herself, then it might not be toys, it might be, food or other accoutrements. She's carried that in to the dog bath. So we have multiple baths with different bathing basins that you put the dog in. We have a pink one, a blue one, a gray one, and a yellow one. Nobody needs 4 bathing bins for their dog, and the dog does not need to be in a bathing bin. Generally speaking, she has a bathtub that she could fill fully or partially with water. She also has like a shower hose that you can use for the dog. Like, we don't even need the basin to begin with. You'll see some of these videos come across the screen, and there's just so many products and changing out things that have nothing to do with the dog. Like the stickers or decals on the wall and the shower curtains, bath mats. And she also puts like a mat, like a non-slip mat inside the floor, which is not really relevant if you're also putting your dog in a basin. She's been using her dog as well to sell you things. And all of this, I think, is just part of the waste baiting. All of the frequent change outs. And she started using her dog in ads and sponsored content to sell you stuff. She used it to sell an alarm. And she also used it to sell like a vacuum mop kind of thing. The dog did not need to be there in either cases. And particularly in the camera one, it really seems like the dog was directed to like run up the stairs. And the dog is cute, and therefore the dog's going to be in the video. We also have a changing your puppy's house every week video where she changes the decor in her puppy's space. Sell you more stuff. Waste baiting. We're changing sets. We know that we don't need multiple different color towels or dog houses or toys to change out for the color of the week. We know that's not normal. We know that most dog owners don't do this, and she's doing it for the content and for the waste bait to get you to comment on it, to say, this is crazy, this is insane, nobody needs this much stuff, your dog doesn't need to have their home changed out every week. We know and she knows. And because we're all collectively knowing that this is a lot of stuff, it enrages us and encourages us to leave comments. So my concluding thoughts on this is that I personally feel like the waist baiting is deliberate to keep eyes on the page, on her page, and the inclusion of her dog is just the newest iteration of that. She's found a new way to sell you things and a new way to waist bait that she wasn't able to before. Perhaps she was getting tired of the bath videos, or she just wanted new content, and she found it with changing out all of her dog stuff and also just featuring her dog all the time. It's so cute, you want to look at it, and that gets people clicking on her videos. Her dog is in all of these thumbnails. Her dog is a paid actor, really. And when her dog is not in the thumbnail, you notice a difference in the views. Or when it's implied that the dog might not even be in the video, we get a difference of views. I think nature is telling us that our time is up for today. I'm not a fan of the waist baiting. I'm not a fan of this creator, and the way in which she tries to sell you stuff is wasteful. I think that's the only way to say it. So that's everything from me today. That's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on this content, this creator, and I hope to see you again around here soon.